Hello, everybody. My name is Amanda Norris, and today I will be talking to you about the power of positivity. When I was a sophomore in college, I had the opportunity to go on a sophomore international experience to Italy with some of my best friends. And while I was there, I got sick, but as did a lot of the people I was with, so I didn't think much of it. When I got home, I continued to still be sick, and soon after, I found out that I was pregnant. 19-year-old me, a sophomore in college, pregnant. And as all my friends and peers started to realize the same, they came to me and said things along the line of, "It was really great to get to know you. I wish you all the best." Things that clearly indicated that they had no expectation of me graduating from Bryant University or ever obtaining a college degree. And honestly, I was quite offended by this. And it wasn't until later in life when I did research and found out that less than 2% of teen moms by age 30 have a college degree did I understand why their instant thought was that I wasn't going to graduate. But I worked with my academic advisor, and I was an international business major, figured out that I would study abroad that summer before I had my son, did a semester online right after my son was born, and returned for spring of my junior year for what we call International Business Block, which is an international semester full of only internationally focused classes. Boy, were people surprised when they saw me back my junior year spring. But I graduated on time from Bryant University, and I had no intentions at that point of continuing education. But I worked for a company that told me that they offered a free master's degree. And I thought about it, and 6 months after I started at the company, I started my master's in business administration. So May 2021, I got my master's in business administration, and I wore my favorite cap that says "they told me I couldn't," and I said, "Watch me." And thank you. And as I was walking the stage, I realized that I love education, and I was not done with my educational journey. So just a few months later, I enrolled in a Ph.D. program that I'm still in today for a doctorate of philosophy and business administration with a specialization in global business management. I have now completed all my coursework for my Ph.D. and just last week started my dissertation that I'll be writing about international companies and their retention strategies. So I'm super excited about that. But while working, getting a Ph.D., and being a mom, it's a lot of work. And when my son was just a few years old, I quickly learned that he wasn't in line with his peers his age with his accomplishments. And so I took him, got him evaluated, and he was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. Now, my son has autism spectrum disorder, and as do 1% of the population, which is a giant percent of the population. But spectrum is in that name, and there is a wide variety of how people behave and act when they're on the autism spectrum. So my son specifically is verbal, but he isn't able to communicate in a full sentence with you, and he is definitely improving, though, with his speech. Some of my son's most recent accomplishments, he is 6 years old now. He can partially get dressed by himself. He can trace his name. And my favorite one is now he is able to sit at a restaurant with me and my husband or friends and family, and he wears his headphones and brings his iPad, and he is perfectly content to sit there. Sometimes we bring him some goldfish or some snacks. But things may look a little different for how he lives his life, but I'm so proud of everything that he has accomplished. And here's some more of him jumping, and this is a community service walk we did together, one of my favorite things to do. This is him on the school bus, and then him just loving outside. But with autism spectrum disorder, one very difficult thing for my son is having and understanding emotions. And when we work really hard and we come home, we're stressed and we're exhausted. And it was very important for me to realize that I couldn't bring negative emotions into my home because that would impact my son. So some of the things that I do in the workplace to make sure that I do not create negative emotions in my home or at the workplace are: I begin the day walking around the store, connecting with my team, and seeing how they're feeling physically, emotionally, both about work and about life, because both of those things can impact their productivity, their attendance, and that helps me better understand my business, but it also helps me understand and connect with my team, which is so crucial. It's really important to understand our team's emotions in the workplace, and that's because 17% is what the turnover rate is in the United States right now. Compared to other countries, this is extremely high. We need to make sure that we are making sure that we pay attention to our team and their emotions and how they're feeling so that that doesn't contribute to the turnover. That impacts our business in so many ways. It makes more work for other people when people leave. It emotionally impacts the team. It can make other people think that there are other opportunities out there that maybe they should check out. So we want to make sure that we're keeping them happy. And one of the best ways to do that is to recognize the team. When people do and perform really well, I make sure that I tell them that they're doing a great job. Other things that I do, aside from just verbal confirmation, is reward them with food, because who doesn't love food? We tie food with metrics, and we say, here's lunch because you did a great job doing whatever you did. So that really helps keep our team really satisfied. And with research, I found out that even over a raise or some kind of financial compensation, people are more likely to stay with a company because of recognition over money, which is crazy. So that's why we have to give back to our team verbally and with any way that we know that they like to feel reaffirmed for their hard work. One thing that is quite interesting about positivity is that there's also a form of positivity called toxic positivity, which is the excessive and ineffective overgeneralization of a happy, optimistic state across all situations. And the best way that I can really describe that is this business example right here. So say you have an 18-wheeler truck that comes to a retail store. Usually you have 6 to 8 people who take all the product off the truck and then put it on a vehicle to then put it on the sales floor. But say every single person who's a part of that process calls out for the day, except for one. And I say to that one person, I know everybody called out today, but you totally got this. In your 8-hour shift, you can take everything off the truck, put it on the sales floor all by yourself. I know you can do it. This is literally an impossible task, but what I've just done is made this employee feel like they're not going to be able to accomplish this, that they're not going to be able to please their manager, and say they're going for a promotion. They're going to wonder if they're worthy or they even want that promotion if this is what the expectations are. So what I need to do instead, and this is something that I definitely struggle with and I've taken a big step back with, is when my team comes to me with metrics, especially that we have timed metrics, we have metrics that are due by a certain amount of time, like days or something. I look at the amount of time that it takes to get it done, and if they say that they're not going to be able to get it done, I think, okay, who can I have help them so that they can accomplish this task, even if it can't be done because they've waited too long for help or we got it too late to be able to accomplish the task? what can I do to help make sure that this task can get done in a timely manner, and what resources do we need to pour into that? Another thing that comes with positivity and feeling good about the workplace is breaks. So when we go to work and we're at work, one of the things we look most forward to is our break. And that's because we're able to refuel. We're able to connect with who we need to connect with to feel better physically and emotionally. Because on our breaks, what do? We eat food, which fuels our body, or maybe we make some phone calls to friends, family, doctors, which then help us mentally prepare for what's next and feel better finishing the rest of our day. In addition to breaks, companies give us vacation time. And I've had a lot of workers and leaders come to me saying that they're afraid to take a vacation because usually when they're out for a day or out for a week, what happens is when they come back, they're left with all that work that they would have had to do because nobody did in their absence. And my advice to them is to make a list of everything that they planned on doing while they were out. Go to their manager and assign different parts of what they would do in that time to different people to make sure that they can get it done. Because we don't want people to miss out on vacation time that the company gives them to prevent burnout, which contributes to that turnover rate of 17%. Companies would rather you take that vacation time so that you're able to feel well rested and connected and stay at the company longer and contribute more and be more helpful overall and feel good overall. But in addition to all this, sleep, exercise, a balanced diet really help with maintaining positivity as well. I would like to thank everybody who came out today to listen to my talk. And I'm just going to leave you with one thing. You can do anything you set your mind to in high heels. So even if they might kill your feet, you are able to accomplish anything you set your mind to. And I really hope that something that I said today helped you guys in some way. Thank you so much.